All right. Hey, what's up, y'all? If you're here, we are going to be learning about ORBAT groups, if you couldn't tell from the title. And if you're a six boy, probably the message or ping in the channel. Um, so, ORBAT groups. Uh, if you have no idea what this is, I will obviously be showing it to you in game. We'll just go ahead and play the scenario and we will see how it looks. Now that we're in game, we are going to open our maps up and you'll see all these various icons around the map. So some of them are fake icons. I believe I did before I completely started relying on the ORBAT system for most things during this campaign. I did set up individualized ones. So we're going to focus on the real ones. So over here, we're going to have Madrigal Forcecom. You're going to have a little description here. If we click on this, it'll bring us into our ORBAT system. So you have Madrigal Forcecom, Army Command, Marine Command, the 6th, Strider Company, Aegis Company, Delta 3, 13th, 3rd, and the 27th. Now, clicking on any of these will drag us to their location. So let's say we'll click on a less prolific one. We'll do the 3rd, which will drag us here. And then it's currently centered on this Oni facility in the northeast section of Madrigal. And it has the captain's description and obviously their commanding officer. And then same with the Madrigal Marine Command here, and then the Army Command. So to create this, we now have to back out, obviously. Now that we're at the editor, we are now free to click on any of these ORBAT modules I have set up around here. We'll go ahead and do ForceCom since it's the big one. It's at the tip of the ORBAT system, obviously. So clicking on this, you'll see config ORBAT path and config ORBAT ceiling. Right now, we're going to focus on path. So you'll notice mission config file, config ORBAT, and madrigal underscore F. Now, going to the 3rd, for example, you'll see mission config path, config ORBAT, madrigal underscore F, UNSC Army Command, and then 3rd SOS. But the ceiling you see won't change. So this bottom line here is what is at the top. So anything under here, anything under Madrigal Forcecom, aka the blue force side, for this one, because there's not multiple ORBAT ceilings for this operation, will have this marked as its ceiling. Now, if we go over here to the Royal Madrigalian Navy, or his Majesty's Navy, you then have the oh, it's actually House Madrigal. My bad, I fucked that up, guys. So the House Madrigal Royal Armed Forces here, and then you have House Madrigal underscore 3 for the path here. And this is a hostile force. Actually, I want to say it's independent in this op because of the covenant, and then you might have okay, you don't have a covenant one here, but this one will also have its own ORBAT group, and I'll show that one later as well. So now getting into it, going into here, mission config file. So what this is going to be this description.ext file here. What we're going to do is open it on the wrong monitor. Now that we have the file open, we will see class config ORBAT. Now going back over here, you'll see config ORBAT, which is what we're looking for, right? So going back to the file, we will then see madrigal underscore F, which is our tip here, right? Our tippity top of the ORBAT system. You have ID equals 0, ID type equals 0, and then it goes into type HQ, side west. The sides that are possible are west, east, and resistance. West is blue 4, east is op 4, resistance is green 4 / independent forces. You have size. There is a wiki article on the Bohemia Interactive wiki, if it's working, which the last time I was on it wasn't working, that goes through all of the sizes. And then here you'll write whoever your commander is, the rank using the base ARMA 3 rank system. So I want to say it's private, corporal, sergeant, then it goes into lieutenant, captain, major, colonel, general. And then you'll write the text in for what it will show up as. And then text short, this is going to be what it. Okay, so text is what it shows up on the map. Text short is what it shows up on the ORBAT. So, and then your description here. So going down to the sixth, right? You have class 6, Commander R. Walker, Commander rank Major. Text short or text equals 6 shock trooper battalion on the map, but text short on the ORBAT will display as 6th STB. Like I said, we'll go back and look at that in the description, and then you can write who they are, what their assignment is. Same with like the 10th Shock Trooper Battalion, Aegis Company of the 109th, things like that. It's pretty simple. The IDs and ID types, I can't exactly remember what they mean, but I want to say if it's like an HQ. Actually, no, I I legitimately do not know. I'll have to do a little update on that whenever I get a chance. Like I said, I mean it's for the Six Boys, so if you are not from the Sixth, you can just comment and I'll get to you as soon as possible. But going down to the Madrigalian or House Madrigal Navy, right? They setting this up is easy as well. You just include it in here. So config orbat Madrigal F, because the Madrigal F is essentially the tip of the spear. I don't know why it uh did that. Anyways, moving on to House Madrigal, we now have it where you'll notice config orbat hm underscore RAF hm3. So the ceiling is now RAF. So going back over to our file here, we'll scroll down, and then we have a new class here in the code, and it has HQ, resistance, size regiment, and then V Madrigal General, and then House Madrigal Royal Armed Forces, and you can write a description. It's all the same. So you have multiple different types. Like I said, if the wiki article is up, I will attach it. And then sizes as well. The size determines how big the marker is on the map. In the initial video, or like in the initial map overview, you'll notice that the HQ is like the largest size, which is the regimental size. And then the third SOS, as previously mentioned, is pretty small. So going back into that, we are now going to switch back to the game. I'm going to launch it, and we are going to have another look at the ORBAT system. All right, now that we're back in game, you'll notice all of our icons here around the map, right? So, looking around the map, you'll notice some of the icons are bigger than others. And as I said, that's attached to the size. So we have HQ here, which is the largest, and then you're going to have squad here, which is going to be the smallest, at least in the ORBAT system. Obviously, with these fake markers, you can adjust them as necessary and size them up or down. But the cool thing about the ORBAT system, as we've seen before, is that we can click on literally any of these, hover over them, read their descriptions, and just see this layout. Now, independent is practically the same. So we click on independent, and we have the same setup here. And the cool thing here is that if we wanted to go the way of Blue 4, we could branch it further down and then continue branching it as far down as we need to. If you want a example of a branching ORBAT system on ARMA 3 on the main menu screen, I want to say if you click the ARMA 3 logo, it will open the ORBAT system itself with all of the developers, and it will show you a much more branched out system showing the developers what they worked on, things like that. But that's pretty much it for this video. It's pretty straightforward. All of the code is there. You can freeze frame it. We can go one by one. I just don't, unfortunately, right now, I don't have the time to write a one all by hand. but I figured that this would work for us right now. Actually, I want to say the smallest size is fire team. Now that I'm looking at it, because of that Delta 3, because this is squad, this is fire team. But like I said, you have various different options here for this. I For the 6 guys, I'm excited to see what you come up with, and yeah, have a great day.